Hello on this Monday, October the 4th, even though it still feels like September out there. And all indications, as we talked about last week, is for another mild month, at least the first half of it, continues to look very warm. I want to talk about Hurricane Sam, not because it's headed anywhere really, but because some cool stuff that NOAA's been working on here. A sail drone. So we think of drones as the flying kind, but NOAA has developed a sailing drone that they sent into Sam and captured some really cool images, but also some important data. We know about hurricane hunters that kind of descend into the eye, but to get really into the surface level of the worst part of the storm, obviously very difficult to do. So these sail drones might provide some really important data to help us in the future understand and forecast hurricanes. 4 new heat records around the world here. Iran, South Korea, China, all setting some new records, and also in Morocco. So the northern hemisphere continues to be hot. We've been seeing that here, very warm September again. But one anomaly on the planet, Antarctica, the South Pole has been very cold. A near record all-time October temperature was set at about 110 degrees Fahrenheit. This was in the beginning of the month. And of course, it's very early spring there. The sun just arrived at the South Pole for the first time, September 23rd. Here's some researchers there at the South Pole Station watching that first sunrise. And now they'll have sun, of course, until March. Continuously, or more and more every day at least. So it's a complicated picture though, Antarctica. Remember, it is a big continent, so the western part of the continent has been very warm, but the interior and the plateau, the South Pole, has been cold. In fact, it appears as though they had their coldest winter season at the South Pole on record. Now the records don't go back that far, just to the 50s, but yeah, it appears that this winter season was a record cold one. So anomalous cold on a very warm planet, a blip really, because when we look at temperature anomalies with latitude, there's Antarctica, just the interior. Yeah, it was cold, but the rest of the planet, of course, very hot, and you can see the net surplus is a lot more extra heat on the planet, especially the northern hemisphere, our summer and fall. Related to that, they had near record low ozone too. So you get a polar vortex in the northern hemisphere, our winter, same thing in the southern hemisphere winter. And they had an unusually strong polar vortex, which literally isolates the upper atmosphere, so that ozone depletion happened a little bit more than would normally happen towards the end of their winter. Of course, we had some fog here, but our weather has been pretty boring, so that's why I've been spending a lot of time talking about Antarctica. Fog burning off, but you can see it on visible satellite. This is early this morning. Everything that's white is pretty much that fog that's not moving, but shrinking and evaporating with that sunshine. And we do have the possibility of more fog overnight tonight because there's just this low-level moisture hanging around, dew points in the 50s. And with these longer nights, temperatures dropping into the 50s, you get fog to form again. So a similar scenario in northeastern Minnesota into parts of the metro, at least some patchy fog again early Tuesday. And we are going to see a little more cloud cover return to the picture too. So we've got sunshine to the west, upper level ridge still there, but we've got this retrograding low that's spinning and kind of sinking backwards, and that's going to push a few more clouds in our direction tomorrow, and eventually by Thursday, maybe a couple of showers, mainly to our southeast, but you can watch that low and the moisture sort of move backwards here, retrograding. And then again, by Thursday, southeastern Minnesota, maybe a shower or two. I think we stay dry in the metro, but there's that isolated chance of a shower on the northwestern fringe of that moisture. Best chance comes for us as we head into the weekend. Looks like Saturday night especially. Next real chance of any significant precipitation, which we need. We didn't get that much over the weekend at the airport, just about 1/4 of an inch. Some spots saw more, but otherwise warm temperatures this week, 70s today, and then gradually warming into the mid-upper 70s, maybe close to 80 for parts of western Minnesota here by Friday and Saturday. So yeah, keep in mind the normal high, 64, slipping into the low 60s by next weekend. And we continue to see temperatures that are more like early June or end of August, early September. And again, just a couple fleeting chances of precip.